Hello, everybody, and here we are again listening to wonderful music on this very impressive and well working machine. Well, I could sit all day long listening to wonderful music like that. I have a very good collection, but today's subject is something different. So, what is today's subject? And why are you looking at this empty screen? This is what we're going to find out. Okay, this is cool, but what is it? And what else can we get displayed? Let's see. Wow, that's very different. There must be good reason behind this difference, and we're going to find out today. But for now, let's keep clicking and see what we can get. Mhm. This one is different. How about a couple more? Okay. You can see some general character to those curves, but the answer is still avoiding us. One more. So what are those curves and what are they telling us? Well, here is the answer to this puzzle. This is a setup we are using today. And it is a test setup that I normally use in my work. And today's job is we are trying to calibrate the head preamp sitting on the left. That's a all vacuum tube tape head preamp. And we're using audio precision system to calibrate this device and some additional assorted test equipment that you can see sitting above the audio precision system. It is a system that produces those nice plots. And those plots are full of information, except the way it is presented now is not very useful. And I will tell you why it is in a second. And we also will try to change the format of this test in order to get more useful information. Okay, so I now changed my test format, and let's see what we're gonna get now. Okay, so that looks perhaps more interesting. That looks like a typical frequency response plot that you would expect from your head preamp. Okay, let's not say which particular equalization it is at the moment, but they generally look like that. You have a slope, and then you have the shelf. That's a typical of tape equalization curves. The preamplifier in question that we are testing now has 5 equalization positions, all controlled by this switch. And if you look closely, you will see right now it is set to 15 IEC, and that's what we got. So let's see what else we can get out of that machine by switching it, let's say, to 15 NAB. You are seeing very different curves this time. Yes, the general character at high frequencies remains the same, but the shelf is positioned differently. And you can also see that what used to be almost straight line going to very low frequencies now has very well defined pole there. And that's how the NAB curve should look. Okay, let's keep going. Our next stop is 7.5-inch equalization. And by the way, every time there is a plot taken, you're actually looking at 2 channels output. As you can see, sometimes those 2 curves do split slightly. That slight split is a result of slight differences between the channel gains. It can be tuned out, or it could be just ignored. It depends on your attitude and the side of that split. Let's do another one. Let's go to 30-inch IEC curve. I'm sorry, AAS curve. In order to see it properly, we need to change the scale. So let's do that. No, that's too much. That's way too much. Now you can see it clearly. So now you see 4 different equalization curves on the screen. And as I mentioned to you before, this preamplifier has 5 positions. What's the last one on the left? Actually, it is marked RIAA. You can use it to play your LPs. So let's switch into that position and see what kind of curve we get this time. Well, as expected, this curve is very different, except in the very low frequency region. So here you have 5 equalization curves. They all seem to make sense. But the question is, can you consider this the calibration? And the answer is yes and no. Strictly speaking, using this particular test system, you can only precisely calibrate your RIAA network, not the other ones. And the reason is very simple. The audio precision system has internally the inverse RIAA curve, precisely digitally generated. And that curve, when we feed that signal to the head preamp in its RIA position, should pretty much produce ruler flat response if your equalization is done right. So this one you can tweak right on your test bench without going to a record player or tape recorder or anything else. Just having your unit under test connected to the test system, in this case the audio precision, allows you to do that. And let's see how that works. For that we need to call yet another test. Okay, so the tape head preamp is switched into its RIAA position, and the test is ready. So let's start and see what it looks like. Well, it kind of looks like flat curve. And this is exactly what you're expecting if you feed in the inverse RIAA signal and your RIAA network in your preamp is working properly. Except this particular plot does not give us enough resolution. So let's get more to see what really is happening there. Well, that's a very, very good curve. Let's get yet another step in resolution. And I'm also gonna run another test just to make the curve a little bit more visible, because different colors show differently on your camera. I like that one. It's bright and easy to see. So is that a good curve? I would say it is a very, very good curve. If this is your reference point here, then you can see your high frequencies are maybe 0.1 dB above, maybe a little bit more, maybe 0.12 dB. And the low frequencies are very, very good, going all the way to 20 Hertz, where they drop by 0.1 dB. That's an exceptionally good result. I have to tell you that this is done without any serious tweaking. This is just a proper component selection, and that produces this result in this particular preamp. Now, you can further tweak it down. You can bring this down a little bit, or perfectly to 0 or even below, by adding another small capacitor to the network. I don't like it, because I usually, when I tune my RIAA networks, I usually give it like 0.05, 0.1 dB boost at high frequencies. Once again, don't ask me why I do it that way. That's the way I like it. That type of design been in production for close to 30 years, and that's the way we always done it. You can say I want a flat response. In this case, there is a particular spot on this EQ board where you can install additional small capacitor. I think we're talking about something on the order of 100 picofarad that will bring the curve into pretty much a ruler flat response. Well, this is great for RIAA because the inverse networks exist. If you have system like Audio Precision, it's already built in, so you can just call it. If you don't have it, you can buy for a very reasonable price. There is a Canadian company making a small, it's like 2 by 3 inches in size, circuit board that provides a very, very accurate inverse RIAA equalization. I don't remember the name of the company. I will find out for you if you have interest in comments. And I bought one. Unfortunately, right now it's at my friend's who's playing with it. But I tested it against the audio precision system, and the result was exceptionally good. So for about $40, you can get this very nice device that allows you to verify performance of your LP playback system. Unfortunately, nobody seems to be making similar device for tape EQs. And I spoke to those people in Canada. Yeah, Canada. Okay. With all stuff going on. But anyway, they told me they would look into that. But they probably realize the market is so small that I'm not so hopeful at this point. And so now, if we go back to our original plot of 4 very nice curves on the screen, that presents very nice general picture of the equalization circuits that seem to be working more or less properly. But more or less is not good enough, so the final calibration is supposed to be done on the tape machine with a measurement tape or test tape running on it. And it is very easy because the adjustments here are all done in this particular case, because your device might be different, but here you have those trim pots easily accessible and adjusting the high frequency response of your equalization. We're not going to do it today, but if there is enough interest, I could show you how it is done at different speeds, using maybe the Studer A820 as a test vehicle. It just takes a particular setup here. And as a result, you can calibrate your equalization to a very, very high degree of accuracy. In this case, when you calibrate the record playback response, you do it in real time on the computer screen. The system will plot in real time the actual response, and you can tweak it also in real time to a very high degree of accuracy. There is no such mechanism in case of RIAA because there is simply no test source comparable in quality to the test tapes that you can run on your tape machines. Well, that's the brief introduction to this particular test system, its capabilities, its conveniences, and to be put bluntly, you cannot beat the convenience of that particular one. It's so powerful, it's unbelievable. Unfortunately, it is one of those professional tools that I'm lucky to have access to because I use it in my professional activity. It's too expensive for the typical home tinkerer, but anyway, it's nice to know what's out there, so at least it gives you some idea of what could be done. And now, if you are like me, you would like to hear a little bit more of that music, so let's play once again. By the way, the tape was Leonid Kogan playing Tchaikovsky violin concerto. It was originally recorded by the Russian Melodia company. So at this point, I would like to wish you the best in your life, and I hope to see you next time. I'm not sure what the next subject is going to be. We kind of take it in freestyle. Whatever excites me at the moment, I will be discussing. So until next time, stay well and goodbye.